Okay, so we just got the official numbers for quarter one population growth in Canada. This guy here on X has basically summarized the data that has come off of the Canadian government website. Now, you go and you check a bunch of websites, everybody says something a little bit different. Still very confusing to me how they come up with this data. And then they could revise the data 6 months from now, just like, in 2022, they said the population grew 1 million people, but then once you added in like non-permanent residents and students and stuff like that, it was actually like 2.5 million. So I don't know, take it with a grain of salt basically. But we had Alberta growing still the fastest in Canada at adding 20,562 to their population, 3,300 in Manitoba, 2,600 in Saskatchewan, 800 New Brunswick, 800 Nova Scotia, 750 PEI, and then you have Newfoundland, Quebec, and BC losing 2,300 people, and Ontario down 5,600 people. And I was just reading that this is like, I can't remember, it's either the first time we've had negative population growth in BC, or it was just the worst number that we've had since 1951. But I mean, that's, every week it's like, this is the first time this has ever happened in the history of Canada. We get one of those data points every single week. But a lot of people would say like, oh, this is scary. Like populations, our population growth is decline. Well, a lot of people wouldn't say it's scary, but some people would, if you have a lot of real estate and you want the value of that to go up. But I just want to show you guys this. So this chart, basically the gray zones are recessions, right? And you'll notice that pretty much every single time we have one of these, every single time we have one of these, you'll see annual population growth decline right after or during, right? Obviously, this line is population growth, right? And here we are right now. Now, I couldn't find the current day chart of this, but I did see it somewhere. And this line is already pretty much all the way back down here. Yet, no recession yet to be seen. So you have, population growth declining in every other recession, but apparently we're not in one. Now, what city grew the most in Alberta? Well, it was actually Airdrie, which I believe is a suburb of Calgary, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty sure on that. With a 5.8% increase of people. So, you saw Calgary grow. Calgary was growing the most for a while there. Now Calgary's gotten pretty expensive, so people are opting into moving to the suburbs of Calgary. And then it'll be, Edmonton's growing too, and then it'll be the suburbs of Edmonton until eventually everything is too expensive and you'll probably see population growth start to slow in Alberta. That'd be my guess anyways. But maybe not, because I did find this interesting chart. So this shows the percentage gain of real estate in each province in Canada. And basically, if somebody asks you like, hey, what province has appreciated the most since 2005? Most people probably say BC, and they'd be wrong because Saskatchewan, the purple line, just overtook BC. Saskatchewan has appreciated the most since 2005. Now, where does Alberta sit? Alberta is all the way down here, second to last, right? So there's two ways you can look at that. Alberta sucks and probably won't appreciate very much. Or Alberta's been lagging behind everybody and now has to catch up over the next whatever years to maybe be one of the top provinces in the next 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it is. And if that was the case, it would make sense because, they have the largest or fastest growing province in the country. Their real estate hasn't appreciated as much as everywhere else. So maybe they have some catch up to be done. And, maybe you're going to see that in the suburbs of Alberta. Now, what does declining population do in places like BC and Ontario? Well, you have Ben Rabideau. And basically he's saying, if you wonder why rents in Canada are starting to soften, just look at the trend in new rental completions. Will stay very elevated over the next 2 years based on the number of units still in the construction pipeline. So this is from last year. And you can see we're at record highs, or maybe not record highs, but basically, this is as much rental stock as we were building in the 80s. So we haven't seen this for decades. And I believe this is even higher now as we're in 2025. And as he was saying, we should be having quite a bit more of these rental completions even into 2026, along with a lot of pre-sale completions that are happening till the end of this year and then into 2026 again. So you're probably going to continue. Well, not probably. You are going to continue to see falling rents, and you're probably going to see vacancies rise as well. And overall, just a very tough environment for investors going forward for the next couple years. And if we go back to this chart, you'll notice every time you see a recession and then falling annual population growth, it is then followed by a period of stagnation where the growth in population is quite a bit less for at least a good couple years before ramping back up. So it might be a while before we have any substantial pressure on rents with the amount of inventory currently available and the amount of inventory coming. That's all for today. If you appreciated this video, make sure you like and subscribe. If you want to chat with me about buying or selling in the Fraser Valley, link down in the description. Otherwise, I just appreciate you for being here. I'm that Agent Kelly. I'm making moves to move you. Peace.